I'm so fucking frustrated. This is to Montana Department of Industry and Labor and ID me. Okay, the last job that I was at, I had to report criminal activity. There was a police report that gunshots were fired at me, and there was also other criminal activity going on with coworkers, some of it being fraud there. I really need my unemployment because I need to pay my auto insurance so I don't lose my car. And what the fuck else? I did not even close down my P.O. box there. Somebody else closed it for me, whether it was the feds or somebody unauthorized to do that, a nefarious postal worker, my nefarious previous criminal manager. I don't know who the fuck closed. Sorry about my language. This is frustrating. Do you guys want us dead? Do you want the people that turn in criminals, the worst kind of criminals at our jobs to be dead? Or something? Are you guys in support of organ trafficking? Is that what you are in support of? Google, that does ID me? Is that what you guys are into? Is that why you want us dead? My face cannot be facially recognized. That is not my fault. That is your fault. I don't have an address. I am staying at a family member's house. So therefore, I do not have documentation of any kind that would support my full address. My documentation would be my last place that is nefarious with a closed down P.O. box that I didn't even close down myself. What the hell? You guys need to fix stuff. And you cannot leave people hanging in the meantime and their lives in danger and leave them for dead because your stuff doesn't work. And when I call Montana Department of Labor and Industry and I say, your matrix is glitchy, who wants to live in a world like this? And they start typing psychotically. I'm sorry, it's not my fault that the doctors have left me with shingles on the top of my head for 6 months. It is not my fault that I was born in the Center of Genetic Studies, Dugway Proving Grounds in Area 52 with 2 birth certificates that are 600 degrees apart that no doctor was willing to sign. I did an art walk, but I ended up spending more of my Social Security disability money on materials than what I made. Oh, I've tried to claim my birthright as somebody born into this program that had 10 talents that were all taken from them because my head shingles and other disease that came from the proving grounds wouldn't be treated by your doctors. The more that you guys do this, the more this information comes out. So if you want to hide what's really behind all this stuff and why my face really won't be recognized, yeah, they've tried to kill me. Somebody stole my car that I traded in. I can't be identified because somebody else is out there trying to use my identification. Now, I need to survive in the meantime until all of this gets sorted out. So if Google ID me, if you're the nefarious ones, it's pretty obvious that you're nefarious because my face won't scan and you won't fix it. And now I don't even have that option when I go back into ID me. I've already had discrimination from the state of Montana. I was very, very much discriminated from the last car dealership that stole $2,000 from me. When my extra income on top of disability, my jewelry making was completely legitimate. But yet the psychotic person that basically was texting me a whole bunch of discriminatory stuff because I have a condition that you guys try to cover up and you won't treat medically. Because I wouldn't drive down a car that I didn't own anymore and tell them exactly when I was leaving to do that. When I had to close my PayPal account, so they had to give me a check back. Because I didn't even trust the people, they're so vile and corrupt. When I was told by an official person that yes, these car dealerships and their transports were being investigated for moving illegal items. And then the woman at Montana Discrimination, MB I think was her initials. Yep, it was MB. When she acts like she's in bed with a car salesman and says it's a perfectly okay for these car salesmen to completely discriminate against chronically ill people. I've got the disc. I'm missing the other camera disc that got stolen when I was camping near here with a Toyota vehicle following me very closely and my Toyota Camry almost stopping and breaking down and the ignition and the fuel injection suddenly not working until I would drive away from that person fast enough. This stuff is for real, and it's for real happening. So the more that you guys can support our lives, the more that this junk comes out. Anybody in this situation would be upset. 20 years of medical neglect, lost all of the businesses I worked through the night for, built a business in this community that many officials get a benefit from, a very high quality childcare, daycare, preschool center. Became almost a white girl George Floyd. That police officer is being fully disclosed for how corrupt he is. He got caught strangling his own child, as well as abusing special need kids in the daycare program that they were getting paid to watch kids at. Oh, but he gets to be on leave and still get paid as a child abusing corrupt cop that almost killed somebody for having extreme physical symptoms of chronic Lyme disease that you guys have all been hiding and won't treat. And it's been on your top censored list for decades now. I am sorry, it is not my fault that your faulty Matrix crap is all coming out. It's not my fault, and I don't deserve to be left for dead or lose what little security I have left of my life being safe because nobody helps people like us. I put a lot into this community and I built this community. But was it ever brought back to me? No. Was there ever a single medical benefit given by my family that's connected with wealthy and well-to-do people in this community that all benefit from the child care center that I started? No. Churches don't help. Families don't help people these days. I know that's exactly what you want because you want to kill off and get rid of people like us. But I have the right to get disability. I sent in a video with the manager not having a single reason to get rid of me. He got rid of me out of pure jealousy because I was calling him out on his criminal actions and his less than ethical management styles, and the fact that he would have run that business into the ground and will if he owns it, if he doesn't get locked up first, which hopefully he will. Oh my God, he's such a criminal. I guess you guys must be for people being killed and their organs being sold on the black market. Because when we tell the truth and we do the right thing in our jobs and they make us leave with 24 hours or less to go. The job before that, I had a scale thrown at me from a pharmaceutical rep with the girl saying, I'm really scared. This guy put a hotel, had me rent a cabin in his name. And my managers and owners wouldn't do a single thing about this pharmaceuticals scale. They said, it's none of your concern. It is. It was given to me as a person that rented out the cabin, and there are people out there dying, innocent people dying. But do you support people like us that are doing the right things, that are seeing the crimes and turning them into the police officer and being thrown to the street because of it? Is there any support for people like us? No wonder why it's happening. ID me in state of Montana. Are you guys happy it's happening? Are you guys for that? Are you for the black market of organ trading and people being killed for it? Because it sure seems like it in my case. I am the real Miss Sally Ann Stearns. My birthday, which I shouldn't say since my ID's been stolen already, is September 3rd, 1976. I don't know exactly where I was born because I have two birth certificates that are 600 degrees apart. But I was born near Dugway Proving Grounds in Area 52 in Granger, Utah, that doesn't even exist anymore. In 1976. My dad worked for the Department of Defense as a welding inspector for the nuclear power plants built next to biological proving grounds. And he continued to work those jobs in most of the Western United States until I was 5 years old. And now I have Morgellons disease. And I'm sorry, the CDC Kaiser Permanente cover-up of it has been vastly disproven by the microscope. It's called a Lyme disease co-infection now. You know why we have Lyme disease? Because they gave it to us. Because they gave us vaccines to supposedly protect us from our exposures. Although a whole lot of people that own yachts got a whole lot of free data out of it. Now I need my unemployment money so that I can get my car insurance paid for. I have the birthright to be a superstar. I have that many talents that I've been not able to use as a targeted individual. I'm trying. I'm trying to get the job that is meant for me in this town. But I've got over 150 hacks a day, mostly from paparazzi and government sites. The casting people won't even answer my text back. So I tried to find a job, and I also did an art walk at my sister's store. My sister owns a nice house and a whole lot of other properties. My family owns a lot of real estate, but do you think they will help me out? My daughter does, at least. But you know what the jumping thing was for the store that is selling my art and jewelry right now? Do you know what her platform was concerning assets? The daycare program that I built, that I became too sick to administer and run 5 years in, because I became very huge, fat, chronically ill, and medically neglected, medically mismanaged, medically misdiagnosed. And why is this all my fault? I'm sorry that your facial recognition doesn't scan doesn't work on somebody whose identity has been stolen, that has family connections. It took a week for them to turn on this Verizon Straight Talk phone. And when they finally did, it's because I was yelling at the phone in the parking lot that I was going to have to take this phone back to Walmart and explain to them why it can't be activated by Verizon and Straight Talk. Well, it got activated, but I still get 150 prevented hacks each day from paparazzi sites and government sites. My story will be made fully known, and you will not manage to kill me off first. So I'm sorry that I'm homeless, so I don't have documentation with my address on it. And I'm sorry that my identity has been stolen. That is not my fault. I'm sorry that the car I traded in was stolen. That is not my fault. And replaced by a Jeep with New York plates, a really nice Jeep with New York plates. That is not my fault. I'm sorry that I'm ethical and an upright member in the community, and when I see crime, I go report it to the police, and my jobs make me leave with less than 24 hours. These things are not my fault, and I do not deserve to not get unemployment or be abused by people at a state government level because of all of the stuff that I'm going through. When I say your matrix is glitchy, and who wants to live in a world like this and she says you need to calm down and psychotically types whatever she wants to document because she can. Real easy for somebody to say that has a secure home, a secure life, a secure job, and isn't targeted because of their story. Now you need to make my stuff right, ID me, and state of Montana. I need my unemployment so I can pay my auto insurance. Fix it now.